Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hope everyone is having a blessed evening. I am having a blessed evening. Yes, this is going to be a good one, but a sad one. And on our platform, we instead of talking about the problems, we try to find solution to the problems, right? We always give some type of solution to the problems, and we get to the nitty gritty of it, we get to the root of it, and then we try to find some type of solution for anyone that's plagued with difficulties or hardship that's going on in their life, or just people just making bad decisions in life. This is an actual true fact. On this platform, this is what we do, right? Before we get in this topic, we definitely we love to listen to jazz music, and this is what we're gonna do on our platform. Yeah. So you see this topic, right? This topic is really, really disgusting and nasty. But we're gonna get into this topic, and we're gonna do the best to our ability with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. There were some parents that got locked up. Their daughter wound up pregnant. She's 11 years old. She's 11 years old. Now, the daughter, basically, right, she didn't go to school for a whole year. So now, she didn't go to school for a whole year. That didn't raise red flags in this town. Come on now. Authorities and people were supposed to have went to the parents' house to check on the daughters. This is an actual true fact. And this was the same house where there was a lot of dogs and pets in this house. And I'm gonna read some of it, some of the report, and then we're gonna watch a video together. I want you guys to get into this to see how disgusting this is. Now, the mother and father got locked up. The mother and father, which is the stepfather, got locked up for this, called child neglect. It's been child neglect. It's been animal neglect. It's been every neglect in the book. But these individuals, right, are meant to keep doing these things, and not be held accountable for these acts towards their children, towards themselves. This is an actual true fact. So we definitely going to get into this. This is a nasty, nasty, disgusting for 11-year-old basically to be pregnant, and she just gave birth. She just gave birth. Now the grandmother, she blamed it on a 12-year-old boy, a 12-year-old boy. Now it's possible, right, that this happened. She became pregnant by a 12-year-old boy, and they just was experimenting. Right? It's an actual fact. But where was the parents at? Where's the adults at? Feel me? So, we're gonna break this down from our point of view. Basically, the parents said that they didn't know. They didn't know that she was pregnant. So if you didn't know, why you have the child out for a whole year from school? I hope and pray that this father did not get that young girl pregnant. I hope and pray that's not the case. I hope and pray it was a 12-year-old boy, but I hope and pray that it wasn't this individual, because we all know that a lot of things happen in the family first. Like the rape, the sodomize, the touching, and everything else happened first in the household. Then it spreads outside. It starts in the household first. So we definitely gonna get into this, right? We definitely gonna get into this. And I'm not gonna read all of it, but I'm gonna read some of it. This is nasty and disgusting. It really is. I'm gonna read some of it, and then I'm gonna show basically a clipping of it, okay? This is in Oklahoma. It says a mother and stepfather in Oklahoma has been arrested for allegedly allowing their 11-year-old daughter to get pregnant and give birth inside of the family home with no medical personnel present. Dustin Walker and Carrie Walker were both took into custody this week and charged with one count each of felony child neglect. The victim is the oldest of 6 children who live in the home with the Walkers but have since been removed. While authorities have not released many details about the circumstances surrounding the child pregnancy, a reporter at the station spoke to the victim's grandmother about the ordeal, who denied that the family knew anything was going on. You're a liar. You're a liar. The grandmother's a liar, and you're covering up something. Because in other reports, it says that the child was taken out of school, right, for a whole year. For a whole year. So if the child wasn't taken out to school, you know something was going on as a grandmother. No, you just holding them down. You holding the wrongness down. You guilty too, as a grandmother. That means you ain't show up and show out for those grandchildren and go check up on your grandchildren. It shows that you have lack of concern, lack of care, and lack of who you are. You're a liar. You're a liar. You allowed this 11-year-old girl to do whatever she wanted to do, play with some boys, or I hope the man Dustin didn't get this little girl pregnant. And if he is, he's a predator. He needs to go to jail for the rest of his life, and the mother needs to go to jail for the rest of their life. I just want people to know we did not know this was happening, none of us. The grandmother, who identified herself only as Michelle, said, "They have made my daughter and my son-in-law a monster. They are not. They love those children. They love those children." No, they made themselves monsters by doing this act and covering up her pregnancy. You knew this was going on. Why you took the child and the child didn't go to school, right, for a whole year? Somebody's supposed to have pulled up to their residence to check on the child because something was fishy. So what type of mess is going on here? Where's the law enforcement? Where's Child Protective Service supposed to have pulled up to her residence to check this child? Just to be pulling the child out of school with no medical reason, nothing that's going on, is madness. This is an actually true fact. Michelle also provided a possible explanation for the juvenile pregnancy. She's the victim. Keep telling us that it was a little 12-year-old that I used to keep, that I used to babysit, she said to the station. She keeps telling everybody that it was him. They got curious, that's all I know. She's saying that the little girl and the little boy got curious. So how did they get curious? Did they get curious by seeing other people do their business in the home? Or was they watching stuff on TV? Or what's going on? What's going on in the household? You're supposed to be protecting your children, they mind, body, and soul, and eyes, and everything else from these things being shown inside your household. It just shows that your parenting skills is shot. And you sit here lying to us, basically. Now, it says that a neighbor told the police station that the Walker home was kept in horrible condition states, lacking running water for about 2 or 3 years, despite having 6 children and multiple dogs and cats in the home. The neighbor also said that she had made several calls to the local law enforcement authority regarding the welfare of the children in the house, adding that she did not believe the family claimed that they was unaware of the 11-year-old pregnancy. Yes, I agree with the neighbor. The neighbor kept calling up, the neighbor kept calling up, the neighbor kept going up. What's going on? It sounds like a lot of fishy business going on here inside this small town here. And they just covering up. So now, media got involved with it. The police police been involved with it. Authorities got involved with it. Once it hit the cameras and once it get out to social media, The police and everybody else and the mayor and everybody else got to make a point, and they got to stand a point, and they got to stand on business, and they got to lock up the parents. That's exactly what it is. If the media was never told about this, they would never would have locked up. That girl would went in there with dealing with trauma, depression, having pregnancy. They helped deliver that baby in it, and you know exactly that she was pregnant. This is getting to me. She told the station they robbed her of her childhood. Who's they? Who's they? Who is they? The children or the boy? Who robbed her of her childhood? It was all of you. All of you. The victim's grandmother pushed back on the neighbor's claim, but the state of the family home. We have animals, and sometimes they're trash on the floor because the dogs get into the trash. I don't want to hear none of that. I'm not going to get into that about the dogs. This young girl is traumatized behind this. She is traumatized behind this ordeal with the parents and anybody that's involved with this. And it's sad. It's sad that this young girl don't even know and won't even know her childhood because she's 11 years old. And someone impregnate her and breed her. That's what it sounds like to me. And to go out your way to cover this up, it's madness. It's madness. This is all facts. That young girl should not be pregnant. She should not be pregnant under no circumstances. That shows the lack of parenting. That shows the lack of leadership. That shows the lack of guidance. So now, being that this is all said and done, once you get to the nitty-gritty, she's the victim. She's traumatized. She's going through anxiety. She's going through depression. Right? Social media is involved with this. All the major platforms is involved with this. Right? And it's sad. It's sad. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know because I'm not a girl. I'm not a young girl. Right? And she has to deal with a lot. She's going to deal with a lot, have to deal with a lot. Right now, the children are taken out their parents' home because it shows that they're unfit. And it shows that their parents' skills is bad. And it sucks. It's an actual true fact. So what's the solution to all of this? What is the solution? The solution is that you got to keep your children close to you as much as possible. Protect them from all these social medias. You have to stay on top of them. You have to watch what they watching. You have to understand what they understand. And be cautious about what they see and what they hear and what they look at. This is an actual true fact. These are some of the solutions that you got to come up with. Because it could be your child. It could be my child. If we don't pay attention, right, and get close to our children and find out what's really going on. This shouldn't have happened to this young girl. Now she's traumatized. She's always going to be thinking about this, thinking about this, thinking about this, thinking about this. Now that she have a child, these parents allow this and let this happen. It's an actual true fact. Now I'm going to show a video. Well, definitely going to show a video of this. Of the grandmother speaking, okay? Give me a second. Give me a moment. I got you.
Nobody, not even the neighbors. They say things, but they don't know what was going on.
Tonight we're hearing from the grandmother of an 11-year-old girl who gave birth over the weekend. Thanks for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Naomi Kitt.
And I'm TJ Eckert. The Muskogee County District Attorney's Office charged the 11-year-old's mother, Sherry Walker, and stepfather, Dustin Walker, for child neglect.
2 News Oklahoma's Isabel Flores listened to the grandmother, who believes that people have the wrong idea about her family.
I went to Dustin Walker's house. The assistant district attorney said the 11-year-old lived there with him, her stepfather, and biological mother, Cherie.
Thank you.
Her next-door neighbor shouted to me nobody was home, so I talked to her instead.
This is getting to me, and I've talked. I said, They're not doing nothing. They're not helping them kids, and I've called.
While I spoke with Cheryl Atkins, I noticed this lady filming across the street, but I continued on with the interview.
They have no running water for the last 2 or 3 years. They have dogs in the house. They have cats in the house. 6 children.
When we got to the home, there was some trash in the yard, a broken window, and a bungee cord holding the door locked.
The oldest is 11, and everybody else is younger.
Once Atkins and I finished our conversation, I approached the woman who's filming.
Hi there.
I found out her name was Michelle, and the 11-year-old's grandmother.
We didn't know this was happening. I know this.
How do you think your granddaughter got pregnant?
She keeps telling us that it was the little 12-year-old boy that I used to keep, I babysat. She keeps telling everybody that it was him. They got curious. That's all I know.
I spoke to Muskoge's Assistant District Attorney, Janet Hudson.
It's our understanding the child had not seen a doctor in over 1 year.
They keep saying that we knew about my granddaughter's pregnancy, and we did not.
First got word of this case, what was your initial reaction?
I was horror-stricken to find out.
They knew about this. The parents knew about this, and they allowed this to happen. They knew about this, and they allowed this to happen because they took the little girl out for a whole year. They took her out of school. So that's the red flags right there. So nobody wants to hear that you crocodile tears, No, we're not going for that. It's sad that this young girl has to go to that. Even if it's just this 12-year-old boy, they really can't do nothing about it. But the parents should suffer with this for some reason. Why you didn't tell authorities? Why you didn't tell anybody? So it make it look like it's suspicion right there. You feel me? And, a lot of these topics that I talk about on these major platforms, a lot of these guys don't talk about things like this. It could be your daughter, it could be your son. It could be. That's why we talk about any and everything on our platform. Keep your kids safe. Watch your kids. Keep your eyes open and your head on the swivel for your children. It's an actual true fact. Your guys have a great, amazing day. Peace, your peace. Peace.